Hello again. Most people believe that we've evolved from other primates. Evolving means markedly improving over one's predecessor. Yet if humans have improved over other primates, or what have you, why are there locks in every door, window, and school and work locker, car alarms, burglar alarms, half of homes having firearms for self-defense, others having knives or clubs, security guards in many businesses, security cameras in most stores, and security cameras atop telephone poles? Even with those precautions, there are big police forces, court systems, prison systems, and countless lawyers. Even with elaborate systems to curtail and punish wrongdoers, each year in America there are 15,000 people murdered, a million cars stolen, 90,000 people raped, a million robberies and assaults, 2.5 million burglaries, and 7 million thefts. Though most people don't do such things, the number of people who are culpable should be tripled. That's because everyone's two parents are responsible for raising them properly. Multiplying that tripled figure by how many others would do such things if they knew they wouldn't get caught equals society's criminal element. If not, why not? Let's also add those who know about crimes but don't report them, shirking their civic responsibility. We have so-called evolved, so instead of dropping harmless bananas for others to step on, we have 25 million landmines to step on worldwide. If only other primates embraced our utopian standard. Sarcasm. Besides, if abortion is murder like anti-abortionists claim, and most people support abortion, then most people support murder. Murder certainly isn't nice, even if abortion isn't killing, since so-called fetuses supposedly are unconscious. Most unconscious, comatose patients are kept alive on machines against their wishes. That reveals that it's not really a matter of consciousness, rather money is made from every abortion performed and every patient kept on artificial machinery. There's even a book called Why We Love Sociopaths. Do apes love sociopaths? The Milgram experiment. In 1961, Professor Stanley Milgram designed and filmed a psychological experiment which tested conscience. Here, two unrelated people arrived at a laboratory to participate in an experiment advertised as a memory and learning exercise. The experimenter explained that the study concerned the effect of punishment on learning. One person, designated the learner, entered another room and sat down. The learner's arms were bound tightly and electrodes were attached. Supposedly, he had to learn a list of word pairs. Whenever he made a mistake, he was to get shocked. With each mistake, the shock would increase. Or should. The other person was told to be the teacher. After seeing the learner strapped in and wired for shock, the teacher was taken to a different room having a so-called shock generator. The generator had switches labeled from 15 to 450 volts in increasing increments and also labeled with descriptions: slight shock to danger severe shock. 30 volts might be okay if it does not pass across the chest, but the higher voltages, note that electrical outlets range from 110 to 240 volts, would be extremely dangerous. The teacher took the word list and was told to test the learner. If the learner answered correctly, the teacher simply read the next question. When the learner made a mistake, the teacher was told to switch on the electricity beginning at the lowest shock level and increasing the shock increment each time. The learner was an actor who did not receive any shocks, but the teacher didn't know this. After the actor failed to learn some word pairs, the voltage supposedly rose, where he expressed considerable pain. At 120 volts, the learner shouted that the shocks were becoming exceedingly painful. At 150 volts, the learner demanded to be released from the experiment. As the voltage increased, the learner complained fervently, where at 285 volts, he screamed in agony. Yet the experimenter coaxed the teacher to continue regardless. This procedure was repeated 40 times with 40 different adult teachers with various education levels and backgrounds. The result, 34 subjects continued to shock the learner even after he demanded to be released from the experiment. 25 never disobeyed the experimenter and continued to press the switches up to 450 volts. Professor Milgram repeated his experiment using 40 women teachers, yet their performance was virtually identical. This experiment was repeated at other locations, eventually involving over 1,000 subjects. Results remained constant. Conclusively, social pressure short circuits most people's conscience. Perspectives. For the extremely different, such as John Merrick, the so-called Elephant Man, where women would scream and run after merely seeing him, or someone severely handicapped personality-wise, whom people quickly judge and become infuriated with, positive thinking alone isn't enough. Positive thinking is necessary, but we mustn't abuse that principle by being purblind to injustices such as people losing their eyesight and limbs from stepping on one of the 25 million landmines planted worldwide. As for the cliche about the glass and attitudes, the glass is positively half full, not empty. However, someone may attempt to drive across a bridge that is halfway completed across a canyon. Half can be woefully inadequate. Excuse me. Most handicapped men understand that society is not designed to help them, it is designed to weed them out. Their having faith in humanity would be foolish. Thankfully, my religion does not ask me to have faith in humanity, only faith in God. Some people declare that dwelling on negativity breeds negativity. I agree if one wants to complain without trying to work towards solving problems. However, we shouldn't keep our heads immersed in sand like cartoon ostriches. There's a third position. By acknowledging that our world is degenerate, we can actively work to improve it. Life seems nice if you're stepping on others, not if you're being stepped on. A woman tried to catch a train but slipped and twisted an ankle. Others literally stepped on her, breaking her leg while everyone else rushed past. She felt humanity's true impact. The platitude of so-called nice society was created by the socially satiated who had big supportive families and didn't interact outside their immediate family. Contrarily, big city police officers who interact with the greatest quantity and diversity of humanity know more truth. Consequently, they are very distrustful. For an eye-opening experience, interact with as many people as you can, refraining from any type of flattery or telling them what they want to hear. Speaking only the truth and saying exactly how you feel without holding back. The following fable illustrates society's hidden and true motives. A lion once fell in love with the daughter of a plowman and asked for her hand in marriage. Not wanting to either give his daughter to a ferocious beast or refuse the lion because he feared him so much, the plowman thought up an idea. As the lion continued to press him, he told him that he deemed him worthy to be his daughter's husband, but should only give her to him on one condition, that he would pull out all his teeth and claws, for they frightened the girl. The lion willingly resigned himself to this great sacrifice because he loved her. But no sooner had he done this than the plowman had nothing but contempt for him, and, when he presented himself, drove him away with vicious blows. Paraphrasing Aesop's fable, The Amorous Lion and the Plowman. Stay tuned for part 3.